Late one night in December 2025, corrections officers at a Las Vegas detention facility carried out a routine check. Nothing about the moment suggested it would become a national headline. But inside one of the jail cells, something had gone terribly wrong. An inmate was found unresponsive. Within minutes, the cell became a crime scene. And before the night was over, a man known to millions through reality television would be charged with murder. The man was Chad Ollinger. To many viewers, he was familiar from the Discovery Channel series Mystery at Blind Frog Ranch, a show built around exploration, mystery, and high-risk adventure. But this story had nothing to do with television. It was unfolding behind bars. At the time of the incident, Olinger was already in custody at the Clark County Detention Center in Las Vegas. He was not serving a sentence for a violent crime. He was being held on a contempt of court matter connected to another legal case. Like many inmates, he shared a cell. And that cell would soon become the center of a homicide investigation. According to authorities, correctional officers conducting a late-night welfare check discovered Ollinger's cellmate lying unresponsive inside the cell. Emergency procedures were immediately activated. Medical personnel attempted life-saving measures. But it was too late. The inmate was pronounced dead at the scene. Investigators quickly noted signs of physical trauma. Law enforcement later stated that the injuries were consistent with a physical altercation. There were no reports of weapons being found. What happened, police said, appeared to have occurred entirely within the cell, with only 2 people present. Within hours, Olinger was removed from the general jail population. Detectives from the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department began an investigation. Surveillance footage was reviewed. Medical findings were documented. Statements were collected from correctional staff. By the end of that process, prosecutors made a decision. Chad Ollinger was charged with open murder in connection with his cellmate's death. The charge immediately drew attention, not just because of its severity, but because of who it involved. A reality television figure now facing one of the most serious accusations under the law. News outlets across the country picked up the story. And questions followed quickly. What led to the confrontation? Was it sudden, or the result of escalating tension? Why were the 2 men housed together? And how did a fatal incident occur under supervision? At this stage, authorities have not publicly detailed a motive. The investigation remains ongoing. What is known is that this was not Ollinger's first interaction with the justice system. In the years leading up to this incident, he had multiple encounters with law enforcement related to non-violent offenses. None of those cases foreshadowed what would happen inside the jail cell that night. But they did place him in custody, and in close quarters with another inmate. Jail environments are often tense by nature. Confined spaces, limited privacy, constant stress. Experts have long warned that even minor disputes can escalate quickly in such conditions, especially when individuals are under pressure. As the case proceeds, investigators are expected to rely heavily on forensic evidence, surveillance footage, and medical examiner reports. Prosecutors will need to establish exactly what happened, and when. The defense, meanwhile, is likely to challenge the circumstances surrounding the incident, including supervision, cell assignments, and the sequence of events. For now, Ollinger remains in custody as the legal process unfolds. He has not been convicted. And as with all criminal cases, the charges represent allegations, not proof of guilt. The court will ultimately decide what responsibility, if any, he bears. Beyond the individuals involved, the case has sparked wider discussion about safety inside detention facilities, about how inmates are housed, and about the systems in place to prevent violence behind bars. These are questions that extend far beyond a single case. For fans of true crime, the story is unsettling. Not because of spectacle, but because of how quickly an ordinary jail routine turned into a fatal outcome. A locked room, 2 people, and a series of events that only one survived to explain. As investigators continue their work, many details remain unknown. But one thing is certain. What happened inside that jail cell will be examined closely, not just in court, but by the public. Because sometimes, the most disturbing crimes don't happen in the shadows. They happen where we assume there is control.